Tonight, we're exploring how colleges and universities are adapting to ChatGPT. It's an artificial intelligence language model that generates human-like responses to text.
It's been used in customer service, translation, and even creative writing. Now it's increasingly being used in education. In fact, you can see from these screenshots we took earlier this evening, ChatGPT is so smart, it generated the script that we just read for this story.
And the KVUE defenders found that local colleges aren't fighting this new technology. They're embracing it. Here's investigative reporter Nisha Heron.
It's not even a year old, but ChatGPT is taking the world by storm.
I'm 19. I'm 20.
And no matter how old you are,
I'm 40.
The intelligence of the cutting-edge technology is shocking.
I think it's like crazy. What have you heard about it?
Well, it is this most amazing tool.
The new generative pre-trained transformer, or ChatGPT, has already made its way into the academic system.
What do you use it for?
Sometimes my math homework.
Even while on the University of Texas campus getting video to tell this story, we found a club using ChatGPT for coding.
This gives you a nice first draft of some fresh ideas to use in your code.
This new wave of artificial intelligence could be academia's best friend or worst enemy. There are a lot of options, but ChatGPT is the fastest growing app in history and is easy to use. You can ask it pretty much anything and it gives you what seems like a well thought out answer. Let's see. Who is Nisha Heron? Okay, that's embarrassing. Let's try something else. Write an essay about ChatGPT. And then boom, within seconds, I have a comprehensive essay with an intro, body, and conclusion. This is what has universities and colleges rethinking their lesson plans.
I gave it questions I might ask on an undergraduate exam in cognitive science, and you know what? It did okay. Asked it to generate an introduction for a talk I might give to somebody, and it did a pretty good job of generating that introduction too.
Art Markman is a psychology professor and vice provost for academic affairs at the University of Texas.
In some ways, I was actually playing around with techniques that are the precursors to ChatGPT back when I was an undergraduate.
Markman is excited about what he calls a new tool, but made it clear to his psychology students using the system for unauthorized coursework is cheating, an option UT is giving all professors because it does not plan on making any policy changes.
It's already been improper to have somebody else write your essay. This somebody else is just an AI system, and so it still violates all of the policies that we have on the books.
The University of Houston has the same sentiment.
There was a time when faculty members didn't want their students going online to get information, right? That's all passed.
Dr. Jeff Morgan is a math professor, but is also a vice provost for U of H. He's already incorporating ChatGPT into his linear algebra course.
I'm going to ask the questions and get answers from ChatGPT. And instead of asking students to solve these problems, I'm going to ask them to analyze what ChatGPT has given as answers and tell me whether those answers are correct or not and why.
You can see the chatbot is brilliant, but it doesn't know everything. When signing up, OpenAI, which invented the bot, warned you it occasionally generates incorrect, misleading, or biased content.
They took my midterm in my sophomore level linear algebra class and it got about a 50%.
ChatGPT doesn't have that reflective capacity, so it doesn't actually recognize that it said one thing and then a minute later it wrote something that was completely the opposite of that.
But Markman says it's learning from a large data set and incorporates feedback from users over time. So its creation of text, images, and videos will only improve. Community colleges like ACC are not only trying to keep up by looking into updating their academic integrity policy, but rethinking certifications that ACC offers.
And the kinds of jobs we thought we were training students for 3 or 4 years ago don't exist. I think it has more to do with how we pivot as an institution to make sure that we're helping students learn for the jobs that are going to be out there in the year or 2 or 3 down the road.
And with only 5 months since its creation,
I think it already has changed the world.
I think if you use it in a positive way, it can definitely help you out and learn better.
experts say ChatGPT and other technology like it will be as revolutionary as the calculator or spell check.
Technology is so impressive. All the university staff I spoke to say they are testing tools that could possibly detect if a student is using AI, but the technology is not 100% accurate yet. They also say they've created committees to address advanced AI and are planning training conferences to find ways to make sure students learn while using this fast-growing tool. Now, Quita, Brian, while schools are still trying to figure out how to navigate ChatGPT, so is the Biden administration. They are asking for public comment to find out how to regulate not only ChatGPT, but other AI like it because it's unregulated. And I spoke to, like you saw, many professors, and they say it's going to be difficult to regulate because it can just do so many things. So it's going to be hard to pinpoint exactly what you're trying to regulate.
All right, the cat's already out of the bag with AI. I don't know if it can be ever regulated at all.
Well, we'll have to see. They're trying to figure it out.
It seems like the ones that figure it out first are going to be the ones that take the step ahead of the rest of us.
Right, as you can see.
Interesting.
All right.
Thank you,
Maybe
Darren.
you can write some more of our scripts. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you, guys.